So we did do a little bit of damage to our green wing last night when we helicoptered it, and like anything, decided to do some mods to just make it better. You can see that it's had a bit of a hard life. So here's the damage we did. So we actually snapped this section out of there. So snap there, snap that. So I thought what I'll do is I'll take it apart and do some mods and make it a bit stronger. So the first thing I've never been happy with this wing is look where the pivot point is for your aileron and how long it is. Now I'd assume that this should be around here somewhere. We're going to move this to here and we're going to have a center pivot, so I'm going to leave that as it is. That's fairly good, which means we're going to have to lengthen the aileron servo cable. So I decided to put a bit of this carbon through here. These holes were already there. That one wasn't, so I just took that, drilled a small hole through there, put that in there. Now that'll stiffen that up. I've made that a bit longer, so what I'm going to do is just cut that off, put that in there. I'm going to put some bracing. This is probably the weakest part of the wing from here, so using that I'm going to put another brace in here, servo in here. That should tighten all that up. I might put some extra bracing in out on the tip here, but that'll just get cut and glue into there. Down here we're going to put some extra bracing, and what I've got is some 6mm carbon fibre, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in where the servo cable goes, and I'm going to put that in through there and make that a bit stronger. So a little bit of extra bracing in here, that'll obviously hold that together. The original and that's what snapped. The original spar only goes through, that's the length of the spar for both wings, so I didn't want to drill into here. I mean, ideally you would put your spar in through here, but I don't really want to pull that apart or try and drill into that, so that will be good enough for me. So we'll glue that in there all the way through, and then what I'm even thinking about doing is getting a piece of this, the bigger carbon fibre, and putting that over that and making that a I guess a spar, a double spar through there to just reinforce those two wings. We'll see how we go with that. So that is a little bit of work to do rehabilitating that, but had to super glue that back together there, and apart from that, a good opportunity. As I said, every time you crash, always take the opportunity to try and do some mods. Now if you're in Australia and you go to the reject shop, this stuff here is brushable super glue. This is absolutely awesome for this sort of work. They're like $2, so you get a heap of those. I've also got some of this aluminium. So what is that size? 1.6mm thick by 20. So that's it there. That's a thing off a quadcopter 100 years ago. But what I'm thinking of doing is putting that down here for reinforcement across both wings. So don't know how I'm going to do that yet. That there goes like that, and then you've got the bar that goes across there between the two wings. What I'm thinking of doing is putting something like that across there and making that a little bit stronger and adding some extra reinforcement just for the wings itself. So I'll have a think about that. Got to design something up. So basically that's our crash. that we did last night. And obviously these wings aren't meant for, you know, super fast stunts, but hey, you got to have a challenge in life, don't you? So other little projects, you'll have to mind the bench. It's a bit dirty, but we've been clowning around with our new 3D printer. If you have a look at this, here's something else I'm working on. Designed that up myself. So that's just got a couple of tabs on it. Holds your motor. So thinking about a thrust vectoring glider or plane. So I thought I'd make my own, because it seems to have gone out of phase. Now I'm assuming the reason it's gone out of phase is because it's not real successful or whatever, but anyway, we'll endeavour to try and do some thrust vectoring stuff with this. Now I am thinking of making up an extra nose piece for this with the thrust vectoring in it, so I can actually bolt that on the front of this girl. So take that motor off, slide this unit over that. I know it'll make it longer, but with the motor and everything on it, it'll have its own thrust vectoring unit on there, and that way then I can just hold that on there and see if it's going to work. So that's a work in progress at the moment.